I feel very honored to be here and be a part of this beautiful ceremony. I was asked to talk about Memorial Day from a Gold Star mother's point of view. I feel a common bond with all Gold Star families, but I also know that each of our experiences and our stories of losing a family member in service to our country is unique to each of us. So before talking about Memorial Day, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my son, my experience, and how I came to be here today. My older son, Julian, grew up in Portland and spent a lot of time over the years here in Vancouver visiting my parents and my sister that are long-term residents. We moved to Florida when he was 14, and he joined the Marines the summer after he graduated from high school in 2004. He was killed on his second deployment to Iraq in May 2007, along with another 21-year-old young man named Ben from Illinois. They were in the lead vehicle in a mounted night patrol in Al Anbar province, Iraq, when they struck an IED, an improvised explosive device, or a roadside bomb. A third young man, Jake, who was a good friend of my son's, survived with little physical wounds after being ejected from the gunner's position. I never dreamed I would have such an experience in my life. You know, everyone reacts differently to trauma and loss. But for me, after experiencing the pain associated with war and seeing how many people suffered from Julian's death, just one of so many who've given their lives in service, the thought that kept coming back to me was, what can I do to bring more peace to this planet? I floundered for a few years until someone asked if I wanted to be an advisor to the Student Veteran Organization at Florida State University, where I was working as an academic advisor at the time. I immediately felt such a connection to the student veterans, and it was somehow comforting for me to be with them. But having been an artist and taught art for years, I started to feel a desire to make a career change and to work with veterans, but I didn't want to leave my art behind. And I literally had one of those light bulb moments where I realized, of course, art therapy. And I suddenly realized that using art to help veterans heal was the way that I could help bring more peace to this planet. So getting back to Memorial Day, its meaning for me has changed a lot over the years. To be honest, it's a pretty hard day. The month of May is the hardest month of the year for me. The last time I spoke with my son was on Mother's Day. He told me he stood in line for over 2 hours in Iraq to call me. And I just remember telling him how wonderful it was to hear his voice. Less than 3 weeks later, we got the knock on the door late at night. And about a week later was his memorial service, and a day or two after that was Memorial Day. Those anniversary and special days are always hard, but important too. What I realize now is the gift that so many have given us through their service. Although I know my son didn't want to die, he made the commitment that all military service members make when they go into combat, to give their lives if need be. He was doing what he wanted to do, and being with his buddies was what meant the most to him. I remember asking him before he left on his first deployment how he felt about going to war, and he said, well, there are guys over there every day putting their lives on the line, and I just want to do my part. I've gained a much greater appreciation for that willingness to serve and for that dedication to be a part of something much larger. I know that most of you here have probably heard about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, but there's also been a lot of research about a phenomenon called post-traumatic growth. Many trauma survivors have stated that being a survivor has made them stronger, and they've gained insight and wisdom and compassion. Sometimes survivors report feeling a sense of purpose and drive they never had before. I feel that from my experience of traumatic loss. Julian has given me such inspiration and a passion and sense of direction I never had before. And I found a new purpose in life thanks to his gift. In the years since his death, our lives continue to unfold and blossom from Julian's inspiration. My younger son, Jesse, joined the Army and is a linguist now serving in Alaska. I'm very thankful to be back in the Northwest with my family and working as an art therapist and counselor. It gives me great satisfaction to support others through their challenges. Thinking about this talk reminded me of the TAPS organization, stands for Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. They provide amazing love and support for Gold Star families. I love the words they created as a way to live with the loss. It goes, remember the love, honor the life, and share the journey. So to me, that's how I like to think about the purpose of Memorial Day, to remember our loved ones and those that gave their lives in service, to celebrate their lives by finding a way to serve in their honor, and to share the journey by helping each other heal. Thank you.